This is Chuck Johnson, and I'm here to show you. Yo, this is Chuck, and welcome to episode 17 of How to Defeat Dudes. Now, unfortunately for this episode, my good friend Dean is off modeling for a people tree in the UK right now, so he won't be here for this episode. However, seeing as how the situation that we're going to cover generally happens much more to women folk than it does to dudes anyway, I thought that this would be a great opportunity to bring in a female co-host for the show. And as such, I asked my very good friend, professional bikini model and women's fitness expert, Miss Mona Onowe, to join us. What's up, Mo? How you doing?
Very good. How are you doing?
I'm good, girl. I'm good. Yo, you ready to do some like self-defense kind of stuff?
Sure. By
the way, what do you think of the location? It's cool, right? It's like mad street looking, total street self-defense situation kind of thing.
I don't really like this place.
No, dude, this doesn't work. I can't teach self-defense on this. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that.
Mona, cut that out!
It's much prettier.
No, this doesn't work. Well, that's all right. Enough! No more switching locations. Let's just do the doggone self-defense.
Okay, fine.
So anyway, this episode goes out to Miss Elizabeth Sims, Mr. Raphael Silva Daniel, and also Vince Kane. This one's for you guys who are all watching episode 1 of the show on single-side wrist grabs and said, Chuck, what do I do if somebody grabs me with both arms instead of just one? And that's why it's a perfect time to have Mona here. Because generally speaking, wrist grabs happen a lot more to women than they do to dudes. When dudes get mad at each other, usually they punch each other. They don't grab each other's wrists very often. However, in the case of women, they do get dragged places by guys. And as such, that's why it's important for women to learn wrist grab defenses. So, let's take a look. So Mo, could you do me a favor and grab my wrist?
Sure.
Okay. For the moment, just one hand. Okay. Now in episode 1 of the show, one of the things I said is that a hold is just like a chain. It's only as strong as its weakest link. So if you want to escape from any hold, you always want to escape from where the hold is the weakest. In this case, it's right here. So Mona, can you go ahead and hold tightly? So even if she's got a really, really strong grip here, if you'll notice there's still this little gap that I could use that gap to slide out from, using your shoulders and your hips so that it's not arm versus arm. Now, looking at the double side wrist grab in contrast to the single side wrist grab, it seems as though this is a much harder hold to get out of, simply because you've got the fingers along the bottom, you got the back of the hands on both sides, and you got the thumbs on top. So it seems as though they've got you locked up all the way around. And to a degree, that's true. But even so, again, you still have to find the weakest possible point in the link, or the weakest link in the chain. And in this case, it has to be through the thumbs, because that's the weakest spot. So the way you're going to get out of this is 1, by stepping in like this so that you can fold your arm in tight. 2, you reach over like this and grab your other hand. And then 3, you slide up like that. So now let's go ahead and have Mona give it a try. Okay, Mona, please give me your arm. So, if somebody does actually grab you or try to assail you like this, it's really kind of a stupid thing to do. Because as you can see, both of my arms are tied up holding her arm, and she could really just hit me with the other arm. Oh! Ow, dude! Like so. So now, let's try that again, hopefully in a way that will be slightly less painful for me. Okay? So, Mona, please give me your arm again. So now the first thing she's going to do is she's going to step in so that she can fold her arm nicely. Boom, from there. Then she's going to reach around with the other hand and grab it. And then from there, she's going to send her elbow straight up. Boom, twisting out like that. Okay. So now if she wanted to from here, because her arm is right there, she could just recock and then just boom, give me an elbow right across the face. Or once she's escaped, she can just run away. Either way. Let's see that one more time. That's 1, step in so that your arm folds nice and tight. 2, reach around and grab with the other arm. 3, Escape upwards using your shoulders and hips. And 4. Finish it with an elbow. Now I know that in watching this technique, you may be a little bit worried about the fact that you actually have to step in so that you're a little bit closer to your assailant while you're doing it. But the fact of the matter is, if you do the technique quickly, boom, 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 it happens in the blink of an eye. So you're in and out super fast. The other thing about it too is that if you try and do it from a distance, what happens is that if your arm is extended like this, then basically you're just trying to muscle up with your arm. So it's your arm against their arm. Whereas if you step in so that your arm is cocked nice and tight like that, then you can use your hips and you can use your shoulders to slide out as well. And it's a lot harder for them to hold on that way. So basically the technique simply works better with the step in. And it's more likely to work if you step in than if you try to stay really, really far away as you're doing it. So anyway, whilst we're on the topic of wrist grabs, this one also goes out to Bo Curry. I think I'm saying that right, but I have no idea. Who asked me the question, Chuck, what if they grab you with a reverse grip? So 99% of the time people grab you, they're going to grab you with the most natural grab that they can, which would just be boom, like this. But then, for whatever reason, sometimes they might actually grab you with a reverse grip, which would be kind of weird. But that doesn't necessarily make the technique harder. In fact, I would say that it makes it easier because their arm is already in this weird compromised situation. And basically, you just have to think about the logic of the technique, meaning that you want to escape from the weak link. In this case, the weak link is here, right there. So you just have to slide out from there. So the way I would do this is 1, I step back like this to give myself a little bit of leverage. Then 2, I grab with the other arm. And then 3, boom, I just slide out from there. And then 4, boom, you come back with the other arm like that. Nice and easy. So guys, that's it for this show. Like I said, these situations aren't necessarily all that hard to get out of as long as you understand the logic of the technique. That's the most important thing, because oftentimes, even when you train a technique and you train it and train it and train it, people don't always grab you exactly the way you trained it, or the situation doesn't always go down exactly the way you trained it. But if you understand the logic of the technique, then you can kind of adapt to the situation and you can still make it work. And that's 90% of what martial arts actually is just figuring out how to make these things work, even though they don't necessarily fit to exactly the way that the situation is. So anyways, that's it. So Mo, do you have anything you'd like to add before we finish?
No.
Ah! Stop doing that! One more thing. Just wanted to remind you guys that for those of you who are on Instagram, you should most certainly follow Mona's page. You could follow her at Mona_Tokyo. She's got all kinds of great content on there. You could see how she diets, how she exercises, and then everything that she does to maintain the body that she's got. I know even as a dude, I've learned all kinds of stuff about how to diet and exercise just from working out with her. So be sure to check out her page, and then if you're on Instagram, follow. See you next time. Yosh!